quickly and kisses him on the cheek. "You take Piggy," he says. "Okay." She lifts the toy cow that he calls Piggy from beside him, and then she creeps out, goes to the kitchen. She's starving, is always hungry after sleepwalking. She opens the cupboard, makes herself a pot noodle, and then takes a carrot from the fridge, eats it raw, to balance the E numbers. The walking is nothing new. When Jen was around 8, her mother regularly used to find her standing by the fridge, blankly eating bread and drinking milk straight from the carton, or in Bill's room seeming to read books which were never even open. For a while they all found it funny, but then Jen started walking further, round the block to her best friend's house, to the park. When she was 11, a neighbour just happened to find her walking up the middle of the road, wearing her pants and a hoodie and nothing else, and delivered her back, both of them in a state of absolute panic. Their mother started taking it more seriously after that, but however many locks she put on the door, however many obstacles she put in the way for Jen to potentially trip over and wake up, Jen continued to walk. When she was 13, her brain found a loop it liked, through the little streets of the town, then following the lanes up into the belt of trees, out to the fields and past the big house on the hill, through the water meadows and following the river, past the farm, and then back again. It's where she thinks she's gone tonight, but she's never woken in the water before. She could almost laugh that even in her supposed sleeping hours, she had found the water again. She's called to it like a lover. If she was a poet or writer, maybe she'd attribute her love for it as being an unconscious memory of her mother's womb. But she's not a poet, and her mother is very much not in her life anymore, so to hell with that theory. The morning light now slices through the kitchen window, and she's thankful that she's got Sunday ahead of her with Sam, with no jobs to respond to yet, because she just came off one yesterday, only 9 hours ago. She'll take him to the new climbing wall in the next town, and for a burger after. She prays Idris won't text her. But in less than 48 hours, he will text, and everything will change. Chapter 2. The message comes in as it always comes in. His name in capital letters on her phone screen, with the minimal yet crucial details. Caucasian woman, blonde, 5'7", 34, declared missing this morning. Suspicious sighting in the river by member of public an hour ago. Matches description. Come to base. It's 5 in the evening on Monday, and Jen needs to leave the flat as soon as she can. She flits between the kitchen and the bedroom, sorting the rest of the week's school uniform for Sam, and, with her phone clamped between her shoulder and chin, trying to sort childcare. Sam's father is an impossibility, and her best friend Kerry isn't answering her phone, but, to be fair, she's looked after Sam enough over the last few months. Jen calls her brother, even though she'd rather not, because Bill's stressed at the moment with the build he's managing, and he stresses her out in turn. She has, however, limited resources, and clearly she's stressed anyway because she's sleepwalking. "Can you come watch Sam for a bit?" she says when he picks up. "It's for a job." "Hi," he says pointedly because she always forgets the pleasantries. "Yeah, hi," she says. "Is that okay?" "How long for?" She looks at Sam, who watches Transformers and eats dry shreddies from a bowl in his lap. "I don't know, obviously." He pauses. "Bill, is that okay?" "I'm sort of busy," he says. "The site, you know. But no, it's fine. I can help out. Where's your job?" "Local, apparently. A woman was declared missing this afternoon." The town and neighbouring villages are built on a complex system of waterways, and it's not uncommon that people fall into them by mistake or when drunk. She hasn't dived here for a job for a year or so, though. Doubtless there will be a lot of wading tonight. Bill asks her more questions, none of which she can answer, before there's a bang on the door. She jumps, even though she knows it's him. "Fuck's sake," she says, and opens it. "You'll take the door off the hinges." "Not with the amount of locks you've got on it," he grins. The phone is still at his ear, but now he drops it to his side. There are definite benefits to living minutes away from Bill, but there are also definite drawbacks. He comes over drunk at stupid hours of the morning, vomits on her sofa, but most